So if we're all here and ready, we'll kick off with Vi from the Premier League.
Good afternoon, Mikel. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You said after the win against Norwich that you'd enjoyed the best 10 to 15 days of your managerial career. What's the last 5 days been like since that win?
They've been even better because winning always helps, because the boys were happy because we experienced the reaction of the fans towards the team on the day, and winning the first match and getting out of the blocks in the Premier League. It was a vital part of our next moment. So very happy.
And in terms of team news, do you have any major concerns going into the match against Burnley?
No, hopefully we'll get some players back. Everybody trained well this week. Obviously, we have still Granit suspended, and the rest, hopefully, they will be fine.
And Thomas Partey didn't start the last match. He did come on, of course. So is he fit enough to start against Burnley?
He is there. He's been training in and out this week. His load had to be managed because it was in early stages of the injury and what he had, but he's pushing everybody as he always does, and he wants to be involved. So they will make the decision for the weekend what is best for him.
And you made 7 changes for that match last weekend. Given the end result and some of the impressive individual performances we saw, how tempted are you to keep things roughly the same? And how important is it for continuity's sake to have a sort of consistent team selection?
There is always a balance that has to be involved. There is always the importance of the performances that individually they put, but collectively what happens, and understand the reasons. It was because of the individuals or because of the execution of those individuals had on the plan that was put in place, and the same would be for Burnley. So let's see. Everybody trained well, and tomorrow there is another session. So let's see what is best to beat Burnley.
And you gave a debut to Aaron Ramsdale, who did well, kept a clean sheet as well. Will you be starting him again this weekend? And how has Leno reacted in training?
It's the same in every position. We want them to make each other better. We are competing against the opponents. We are not competing against each other here. We are just trying to bring players that can raise the level of the player that is playing the position, the level of the team, the level of the club. And this is the only reason. Obviously, for Benny, it wasn't a pleasing communication when I told him that he wasn't playing. But he's a top professional and a top person, and he should be disappointed, and he should support his teammates like they all done with him every time he's played, and it's exactly what he's done.
And Burnley are yet to win in the Premier League this season. It was a tough game. It was a 1-1 draw last season, that fixture. How wary are you of how desperate they'll be to try and get their first win of the season?
Yeah, obviously they had some difficulties to get results. Obviously, during games the games that I watch, they've been pretty unlucky in certain moments because they have moments of real dominance and they end up losing football matches. We know how tough it is to go to Burnley. We know the game we're going to expect out there, and we will be prepared for that.
And Sean Dyche, it's been announced today that he signed a new deal at Burnley. How impressed have you been with the work he's done at the football club?
I think he deserves huge credit because with the resources that he had, the way he has managed to establish the club in the Premier League, and how he's done it over the years, and he has to stick to his beliefs, and he's done it his own way, and he has created a unique identity on the football club, which is something that it's very difficult to do in this league. So credit to him, and obviously congratulations.
Okay, thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vi. We'll go to Paul Gilmore from Sky.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Mikel, what were your reasons for going with Aaron Ramsdale over Bernd Leno?
But we have to change something, and Aaron has been coming here to try to make us better, and we needed a result on the day, and I decided to play him. That's all.
There were reports in Germany that Bernd Leno might come back in for the North London derby. Are you going to decide sort of certain games for the players, or what is your thought process?
I don't know where they are coming from, but they are ahead of me. And I think I am the one who picks the team at the weekend. And sometimes I read things that I haven't decided yet. So they give me ideas at the most, but nothing else, because I haven't made a decision for Saturday. So imagine for the North London derby.
It is Burnley away this weekend. Johan Gudmundsson has suggested they hope to make things as uncomfortable for Arsenal as possible. How well equipped is your team in dealing with the threat and the specific threat Burnley bring?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a completely different game than when we played against Norwich because of the qualities, the game that they proposed, where they want to take the game to, and we'll have to try to avoid that as much as possible and do the opposite thing.
Jurgen Klopp earlier this season criticised them for their tackling, and that theme came up again after the Everton game on Monday. Gudmundsson says that they can't be that dangerous because they're not being given red cards. It's up to the referees, not other managers or other people. What's your take on that?
I don't know, that we all know the rules. We all have to respect the rules, that there is an official that has to say and decide what is right and what is wrong.
But you have no concerns that it's over the top. So some of the tackling this season has been over the top. Do you feel it's been within the rules?
Well, they explain the rules. We can agree or disagree, but we don't have a say. So we don't have a say here. So I wouldn't waste any energy on that.
And just finally, Jack Wilshere has had kind words for you this week. Has he had the conversation with the club yet about coming into training? And is there any chance at all of him playing his way into a short-term contract?
We are in conversations with Jack to understand as well what he needs, what he's looking for. It's a person and a player that has a huge admiration around everybody, not just the players or fans, but all the staff around here. And we are willing to help him as much as we possibly can. He knows that, and that's the situation.
And could that help be extended to seeing him again in an Arsenal shirt someday? Could he play for the club again?
I wouldn't take it that far. What I'm saying is that we are in conversations with him to understand what he needs, how can we help him, and that's it.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
We'll go to Ian Abrahams from TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you?
Hi.
Big week ahead, isn't it? With Burnley, Wimbledon, and the North London derby, and it's important that last weekend wasn't just a good one-off, and you build on that.
Absolutely. Now we have to put a run together, and we know how much we need the results, and the performance will lead to that. And if we do what we have to do against Burnley, we'll be much closer to achieve that. We had a good week to prepare the game. We know what we are facing. The challenge is going to be big because it's one of the toughest places to go in the Premier League, and we are ready for it.
You spoke after the game about how much the support of your family had helped as well. How tough have the first sort of 2 months of the season been for you?
It's, life brings you things and you cannot decide it. There are certain things that you cannot control. And what it comes to you is coming, and it's coming for sure for a reason. Sometimes we don't want to see it, but it's coming for a reason, and probably is for the right reason. And then it's about how you take it and how you respond to that. And the way that everybody around me responded is the way that I responded. And that's why it's been fine. Ian. It's tough because it hurts, because you want to see something different. But what you want is not always what happens. And things happen for a reason. And maybe what is happening, it had to happen. And it's going to be really good for the club and really good for myself and for everybody experiencing that situation. But we have to believe on that.
So like when you were a player, you would have tough times. You see the last couple of months as being, for want of a better expression, character building for you as a manager?
Yeah. When I was a player, I made a decision in my career because I had a personal issue with my parents. I decided to go to my former club, Real Sociedad. And that was tough because I had other opportunities, but I needed to be at home next to them because I thought it was important. And I suffered. I didn't play. I was on the bench. And I always said that was the key moment in my career to have more success. I don't know how you measure success, but to enjoy more, to go to bigger clubs and do that was the right moment. And everybody that made those decisions for me and the experiences that I had there was the right thing that I needed in that moment, that at the moment, Ian, I could not see. I was annoyed, upset, hungry. I was really bad with myself, with everybody. But today, reflecting and looking it back, he said it was the perfect moment, in the right time. Sorry.
So finally, to end on a positive, there is real light for you at the end of the tunnel. You come through the dark period of the last 2 months, and you can really see the light. Yeah.
I can really see the light there. I'm telling you, I'm very positive most of the times, and I've seen the light, and I can see a bright light, and there can be bumps on the roads within that light, but I can see a lot of light.
Good speech to you, Mikel. Good luck at Burnley.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ian. We'll go to Mark Bryans from the Press Association.
Afternoon, Mikel. There were reports Leno had reacted badly to being dropped from the side. I know you said he was disappointed, but have you been worried at all by his response?
No, that's not true. That's not true. He responded. He can be frustrated, but he was top with his teammates in training, with everything. That's not true.
I know you also said people must be ahead of you by suggesting he will play against Spurs, but have you had to make him any assurances? Will he play in the Carabao Cup, for example?
No, that's what I said to them, and I said to the goalkeepers in the last 2 or 3 years, that we don't want to do that. What we want to do is empower performance and ask them to train, behave, and play the best possible way. How can I guarantee somebody to do something? It wouldn't make sense with what we are demanding them to do. So it's on a daily basis. It's what you do. What you did 3 months ago in football, it doesn't count. So it's what you're going to do today and tomorrow, and that's it.
You've managed in Europe. Arsenal have been in Europe for 20 odd years until this year. How hard was it watching the game the last couple of nights?
It hurts a lot. In the last few days, it was hurting to put the TV on and see those teams in there and don't see Arsenal there. It was painful.
Is it also a bit of a motivator to make sure you don't have to do it again next year?
100%. Yeah. I don't want to be sitting there with Arsenal being out of those competitions. So we know we have the focus and the trigger is there.
Okay, Mark.
It does mean you'd have to talk to us more. Just finally, Dan, if that's okay. Alex Lacazette is out of contract at the end of the season. I know he had the COVID issue at the start of the year, but he has played just, I think it's 30 minutes of Premier League football so far. Are you now planning a team that doesn't involve him? You're expecting that he might leave next summer, or would
no? He's fully involved. You give the reasons why he hasn't played more minutes, and he will be back to the form that he can achieve. And I'm sure that he will be instrumental in our success.
Thanks, Mikel.